let me pose you a question. What's the most beautiful thing you can think of? All right? You're not getting much time. Are you done? If the Cold Steel Spartan didn't immediately pop into your head, then maybe you don't like art or books.
I think you have that backwards.
Or maybe you think cold steel knives are a little overkill. You prefer some of their more pocket-friendly, tasteful wrestler-endorsed designs like the Working Man or the Broken Skull. That's fine, but I can have my guilty pleasures, can't I? Pete from Knife Science Channel, Cedric, and Ada knows exactly what I like in a knife, which is why he sent me the Spartan without even wanting it back. That's weird. Now I have 3 12/16 murder porn masterpieces from Cold Steel, whatever the math on that homemade clip point holdout works out to be. Again, you may think they're overkill, but to Cold Steel, just standard kill ain't dead enough. So let's take a look at the dimensions. You know, I thought about skipping this part, like the overall length and weight. Let me guess, you'd buy this if it were just a little smaller and less tactical. Blade size and cutting edge. Or maybe a little less recurve. Sorry bro, it's too sick looking. Handle size and grip area. Or if the handle were a little less veiny.
Hey, those are stripes.
Okay, ribs. Spine thickness, handle thickness. Or maybe a little less surprise motherfucker deployment out of the pocket. Yeah, that's what I thought. Tallness closed. You make my stomach turn. Or it could be that all raw meat diet I've been eating. The Cold Steel Spartan gets its roots from Nepal. I mean, it's an American knife made in Taiwan, which is as American as you can get in something. But its basic blade shape hails from a traditional style of Nepalese blade known as the Raja 2, which you ain't man enough for anyway. The Raja 2 is a knife in human form that would walk around the streets poking random people in the chest, asking them, "What the hell do you know about recurve, bro?" Then, of course, puts you in a full Nelson, and its smaller cousin, the Spartan, walks up and punches you in the dick repeatedly. Sorry, I still have 24 hours of A Christmas Story in my head. I don't think they punch people in the dick, but you get what I'm talking about. So the Spartan has a drop recurve, kukri, whatever style blade, featuring a hollow ground AUS 10A blade steel that's stonewashed. Remember, if AUS 8 is the Camaro of steel, AUS 10A is like the jacked up K5 Blazer with a once primered, now rusted hood and maybe rear quarter panel. You know? Of course, that metaphor, the AUS 10A is a little more likely to rust because it has more carbon in it. Still stainless, though. That doesn't mean it's bad, just that you shouldn't let moisture from your fallen foe sit on the blade while not in use. Or just spray paint it, because that'll keep the rust off. Recurve blades are sometimes challenging to sharpen for people. You know, people that probably just need to stop whining about shit for a change. How about the Lockup and Deployment? If you don't know by now, the Triad Lock is the best, toughest lock on the market that will beat the shit out of every last one of you if you don't believe it. I don't care if you think it's stiff or you don't like lockbacks, because you're the one that's wrong. The lock is so strong it's known to hold at least 800 pounds of the substance of your choosing. There are plenty of videos on the internet by Cold Steel that pit the Triad against weaker beta locks from other makers. I now have 4 knives with this lock, and I've yet to have one fail during the most vigorous of baton sessions. The Spartan is flingable with a good solid wrist pop, to the point where I have to try a few times to work up to it. However, most of my subscribers generally work out their wrists every day, so it shouldn't be too much for them. So you fling it hard. No, harder, like a man. Or you could use your thumbs too. It's kind of a lot of travel for regular sized hands and thumbs. Maybe it's easier to open two-handed. It also has that thumb disc that with a lot of practice, while no one is looking, you can actually have it deploy as you pull it from your pocket. It's not really my thing, but for people who carry large knives with the purpose of self-defense only, it's been known to give those dudes a semi. I know, it's a beautiful thing. The Triad Lock is and can be super stiff. A good hard solid thumb press to unlock. So it might not be a good gift for your tactical 3-year-old nephew. That's what the Raja 3 is for. The handle is pretty ergonomic though. And if I were a tactical man, I'd say it's made to stay in your hand when you're in a more self-defensive situation. Like your mid-morning knife fight with a mimosa in your other hand. Or cutting rope with a "yeah" sound in your proof video. It fits my hand well, but it might crowd the digits of bigger dudes. The good news is Cold Steel makes plenty of plus-size folders for all of the hand sizes. Now, if you thought the lockback was stiff, the pocket clip may even be stiffer, so expect it to chew the shit out of your true religions unless you remove it and do some bending first. It's flippable to the right or left side, and if you are wondering if it's anything other than tip up, then just get the hell out. Get! Of course, it ain't deep carry, but why wouldn't you want the world to know you're carrying a Cold Steel? The instant identifier of the type of dude you are. The best part is you can point to your Spartan and say, "This here's my Tommy Lee," and then point to your other pocket and say, "And this is my Pamela." That way no one will ever talk to you again. Of course, now in that metaphor, the knife is Julian Assange. Ugh. Times changed, bro. Comparisons, which is mostly just what this Cold Steel looks like to this Cold Steel here. Now, Cold Steel makes ridiculous knives, but they also make nice, tasteful everyday carries like the Code 4. However, I own none of those for whatever reason. First, let's compare the size to a popular everyday carry, the Para Military 2. This knife is quick and light and easy to deploy. It has a comfortable handle, and the style of knife I generally prefer to use and carry. It weighs about half as much as a Spartan, which is a big reason why I carry it and why that dude below right now is posting, "What a little girl I am." Hey man, 7 ounces ain't heavy. You know how much I bench? I know, the logic is spot on. Relative to 250 pounds or a 3-liter bottle of Mountain Dew, 7 ounces ain't that heavy. The Spartan takes up a ton of pocket room, but I guess it's not as much as barbells, so you got me. Now the Frenzy. This one's lighter, and it's easier in the pocket because it doesn't have as many ribs or veins on it. However, maybe not as practical in size as a knife could get. Some people think the Paramilitary 2 is still too big. I know, I don't believe it either. I guess the Frenzy is really made for self-defense, you know, the stabby form of self-defense, whereas the Spartan is more for the skinning type of self-defense. Now the Colossus, look at that tall flat grind. This is my favorite Cold Steel big folder, if only because the blade shape is slicey and more useful to non-self defense or offense related tasks. I mean, I assume it'll do those tasks too, but I just cut things. I reviewed it a while back. A nice belly on a knife lends itself to a broader range of tasks than maybe a more specialized recurve or a worn cliff edge. One more big ass blade, the Benchmade Crooked River. It's lighter, takes up less room in the pocket, but still has a similar sized blade, just a little smaller because of the handle style. If I had to carry a big knife, this would probably be it. However, the Spartan seems to be more firm in the hand because of the handle shape. It kind of fits it better. Alright, we're about done. If I had time to shoot slow-mo for this, I would have, but I didn't. I'm moving. Do you know that? I'm moving. I'm recording this before I moved and probably will release it after I've moved. However, I can recommend you sit back, watch it at half speed, put on some Skid Row, one of the ballads maybe. But if I did do slow-mo all the time, it wouldn't be special now, would it? If you didn't get it, I genuinely like Cold Steel's ridiculous designs. They're guilty pleasures. I may not find most of them useful for my needs, but I get some people need to fight off dozens of well-trained foes even before brunch. Like I said earlier, the Code 4, with its easy pocket carry, is a little more my speed if you're looking for a Cold Steel knife. I know there are other ones. I think the American Lawman's a decent one, but I just haven't tried all the Cold Steels and just don't have time to. Maybe in the future. Now, if you want to deploy this blade quickly, you still will need to practice with a full-length mirror in an empty room with, I guess, some Cinderella cranked. If you like this sort of review, even with the references to 2 hair metal bands in the span of a paragraph, there is a reason why I'm making YouTube videos, okay? Then subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, comment, Patreon me hard. Thanks for watching.